welcome to my little haven where I'm choosing to just sit and rest and relax this evening on the winter solstice. It's the shortest day and the longest night, and from here on in, slowly but surely, the nights are going to get lighter and lighter and the days longer and longer, that we slide gently in to spring, where new life in both the fauna and flora worlds blossom and grow and give us a lovely sense of newness and renewal. So this time, I always feel, is a time for rest, to build up our energies between now and then in order to have the strength to be part of that growth and that newness, regardless of our age or our health situation, that we always have that ability within us to grow and blossom and to help others grow and blossom too. Anyway, why am I making this video tonight? I came across this lovely oracle deck. You can see I've got very low lights this evening. You're not getting the actual effect on the video that I have in here because the room is full of sort of warm reds and oranges and yellow glows from the candles, the salt lamp and the little lights I have strung across the paintings over there. So this is really nice and relaxed and just a space for me to have a little bit of time out. So I will apologise about the lighting, but I'm not going to be putting any bright lighting on, simply because I'm just enjoying being right now. So I will get on with this. This is the Aboriginal Walkabout Oracle deck. It is a 48 card deck with a guidebook, and it comes in a solid 2-part box, which I have just hurt my nail on. So there we go, that's our box, nice and solid. Let's see what the blurb on the back of the box tells us. We've got images of some of the cards on the back, as you can see. The print is very small, but have a damn good go at it. Do you ever feel you are losing your way in life? Be guided by those who've lived in harmony with our amazing planet for millennia. These unique collection of ancient wisdoms interpreted for the modern age pool the power of the land, the people, their tools and mythology into a single stunning resource of inspiration, creation and comfort in all these all too testing times that are of our own making. These stunning cards speak to all who appreciate Mother Nature through the teachings of our collective ancestors, the Aboriginal people of Australia. Within this book there are 48 cards full of life-enhancing wisdom for the modern age, key focus words, a detailed guidebook with simple spreads, easy to remember and repeat invocations, a detailed reading, and factual information about each site, tool, animal and more. Because each card has either a tool, a site, an animal or person on the card that has had different, albeit they've got the name, they've had different sort of tasks given to them. And you'll see what I mean now. First of all, let's have a quick look at the book. So the book is a small guidebook, okay? It's just in one language, it's in English. It tells you a bit on the back about the creators. The creators are Matthew Tyler and Kate Osborne, and the artwork is by Morgan Fitzsimons or Fitzsimmons. We have our usual introductory page, but what I like here, we start off for ourselves, just here we have a lovely Aboriginal proverb. We are all visitors to this time, this place. We are just passing through. Our purpose here is to observe, to learn, to grow, to love, and then we return home. We have our contents page, and on that it tells us there's an introduction, how to use this, how to use the cards, the sample spreads, and then each of the cards. Now, what I do like is on each of the cards, okay, you have a black and white image of the card, you have the invocation here, you then have the meaning of this card, but then you have the factual information about this creature or the item that you see on the card. So just as an example, this is card number 1. Okay, well, it's not numbered, but it's an ad nortina. An ad nortina is a reptile-like creature, and you'll see that in a minute when we look at the cards. So an example of the invocations that we'll find through the rest of the book is: as a child of the universe, you are precious and evolving. Only a few are capable of tackling the problems you are now solving. So guard against others' ignorance, stand your ground, and know your beauty shines through every day, and from that truth will grow. And the key word that goes with the ad nortina is protection. And then it gives you the meaning, and like I say, it gives you some information about an ad nortina. And an ad nortina is thought to be linked to prehistoric megalania. Ad nortina is the lizard god of Uluru. One of the most famous clashes of spirits in Aboriginal mythology is that of ad nortina and Mariindi. During one battle, Mariindi took on the form of a dog, and ad nortina the form of a lizard. The fight lasted all day and night until ad nortina bit down upon Mariindi's neck, dragging him to the top of Uluru and ate him. It is believed Uluru got its red colour from Mariindi's blood staining the rock. Now, isn't that brilliant that not only are we getting a card that gives us a definition, as sort of a meaning for protection, we're getting a little invocation, we're getting the meaning, but we're getting where these have been taken from historically, whether it be through myths and legends, through tales, local folklore, but that all adds to our learning of other cultures other than our own, which I think is remarkable. The cards are big, they're oracle-sized cards, and oops, I left a card on the table there, just bear with me. They're oracle-sized cards, and here we go. That's the back of the cards, as you can see, and this is ad nortina and protection. Sally and Sammy have just opened this room door, so we have some light shed on this. Sorry about the glass, there's a bit of glass. There you go, ad nortina. Our next card is Angea, and that's recuperation. Angea, recuperation. Our next card, now excuse the pronunciation, Birarungmar, and that is mindfulness, Birarungmar. And when you hear these names, see the keywords, it actually gives you the desire to read more about them. You know, where do the names come from? What meaning does this have to the Aboriginal people? Now, the next one is Baleine Cave and its relationships. Barramundi, and that's freedom. Bilby, trepidation. Benumia, and that's mystery. Now, isn't that quite a different looking card? It's going to be interesting reading about that, because initially I thought they were like the parting of the waves, but then when I'm looking at it, it looks like cliffs, and then I can see faces in it. So yes, I can understand why that's been given the title Mystery. Boomerang is confidence. Blue-tongued lizard, accountability, and you can almost understand why that's given the title accountability. If we look at our own stories, I don't know, when we were younger, you say, if somebody was telling a lie, you'd say, hold out your tongue, because your tongue gone black. You know, so your tongue was black, you'd be going, you could tell if you're telling a lie, you're going, don't stick out my tongue, don't my tongue to be black. So taking accountability for your words, you know. Now the next one is bunyip, and that's courage. They look fierce creatures, the bunyip, don't they? Then we have Burringurra, and that's attention. Aren't the colours quite stunning and the drawings really beautiful? Then we've got Carnarvon Gorge, and that's appreciation. Carnarvon Gorge. And that was very easy for you to pronounce because we have a town in North Wales by the name of Carnarvon. Then we have cassowary, which is self-worth. Cassowary, self-worth. Look at the beautiful colours in the cassowary. Big eyes. They almost do have that prehistoric look about them though, don't they? Daramulam is heroism. And he does look like a big hero. Didgeridoo is control. Control. And I like that because the didgeridoo, you'd have to control your breathing, control your timing, control the, you know, the movement of the didgeridoo, because it must weigh quite a bit. Dirawong, authenticity. Authenticity. Then we have dugong, self-love. That reminds me of a manatee. I wonder if, when we look in the book, if that would be a relation to the manatee. Then we have an echidna, which is well-being. Echidna. Emu, achievements. Then we have I'll repeat this. Garangarelli, creativity, Garangarelli. And there we can see a snake with its open mouth. Look at the beautiful patterns all the way down it and the colour. Then we have now I don't know if it's Gnawi or Gnawi, whether the G is pronounced at the beginning of the word. Gnowee, Gnawi, love. Gooninup is generosity, Gooninup. Hairstring augmentation. Hairstring augmentation. And I have a card stuck together here, do I? It is very thick, maybe not. I do, yes. Thought I did. There you go. Hairstring augmentation. Kangaroo, exertion. You know, when we don't live in countries where there are such beautiful creatures like this, and we see them on the television, we think, oh, what lovely, beautiful creature. I'd love to go over and be able to hold one, you know, feel the fur of one. But then I believe they can be quite vicious, trying to kick and box have very strong tails, I believe. Kata Tajuta, which is obstacles. Kata Tajuta. And if you look at this card, although we have the mountains that are obstacles there, you can look in the sort of distance. There are obstacles in the future that you may have to overcome. Either you have overcome them or they're more lying ahead of you, you know. Koala, sustenance. Eucalyptus leaves. Kookaburra, happiness. And start singing Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree. But I better not, because they terrify people. Lake Mungo is perception. Then we have Lira blades. Lira blades. So that's some sort of weapon, tool. So that is, we'll be able to find out what the Lira blades were used for. Then we have Mimi, which is friendship. Peacock spider, exuberance. Platypus, stereotypes. Pukumanipoles, enlightenment. They remind me a little bit, only a little bit, of the totem poles of the Native American Indians. Pungalunga, which is forgiveness. Pungalunga, which is forgiveness. Ringtail possum, encouragement. It's beautiful. Saltwater crocodile, patience. Yes, they do have patience to sit like that for some time, don't they? You just don't want to be in their vicinity when those jaws snap together. Tasmanian devil, drama. Well, yes, you can imagine that, can't you? Tjurunga, positivity. Turndun, communication. Uluru, foundations. Wombat, detachment. I think that's because the wombat, if I'm not mistaken, is quite a solitary creature and withdraws from a sort of, if there are people around or anything around, it hides in its little burrow, and only the wombat goes into that burrow. I could be completely wrong, but I'll have to look that up again. But I would imagine that's why detachment has been given to the images of the wombat, because they're quite solitary creatures. Woomera, which is balance. Wairuo, which is epiphanies. Wairuo, epiphanies. And Yahoo is respite. Yahoo is respite. That looks like the wild, like something wild, a bit like the Yeti, how I would imagine a Yeti to look like. So that is the Aboriginal Walkabout Oracle deck. And I think it's going to be quite interesting learning what each card, what each image on the card actually, its sort of historical meaning or mythical meaning is going to be very, very interesting, as well as learning to use the deck for divinatory purposes or for guidance. I think these would actually be quite nice for a daily draw. You know, what have I got to concentrate on today? Concentrate on protection. So protection of what? Protecting yourself. Protecting yourself from the negativity that surrounds you in everyday life. At this moment in time, we can all hand on heart say that there is a lot of negativity in the world, in the state that it's currently in. But trying to protect yourself from being drawn down the path of focusing too much on that, because that could become very depressing if you allowed it to be. I have found myself going down that very path. So if you pull yourself that protection, look out for you. But then also you could look at it from another point of view, protecting your home, protecting others in your home, doing your best you can in order to help others progress and not fall by the wayside. So you have an awful lot that you could look at there. Recuperation. What do you need to recuperate from? Recuperating from ill health, but also recuperating from the effects of whatever negativity you could have come across that you needed to protect yourself from. So recuperation comes in many formats, whether it's emotional, mental or physical health. Mindfulness, being caring of others, you know, looking after others in our home and our community. So you see, the themes of these cards, I feel, will be lovely for a daily draw, but the images will be lovely for a meditation where you step into the card and just have a look at what is around you when you take yourself off into the beauty of the artwork of these cards. So I think they're going to be nice to use. I like the gilding on them. I know a lot of people don't like gilding, but see, I don't mind gilding. Yes, it looks beautiful when it's first on, but I also like when it starts wearing, because you know that a deck is being used and loved, and a lot of people don't like that, but then it's a sign of that deck being valuable to the person who's worn it down. So that is the Aboriginal Walkabout Oracle. Come on here, young man. And this is Sam just coming to say hello. Say hello, Sam. Say hello to everybody. Sam likes to have a look at the cards, don't you, Sam? Yes, you do. So this is my little boy. So, folks, I hope you've enjoyed the walkthrough of that deck. I will be back to do walkthroughs of other decks in a week or so, if I get a surprise for Christmas and I have a tarot deck. But I'm awaiting the delivery of one that I pre-ordered a while ago, and it's one that I think is quite different to all the decks I have, which I can't really actually remember the name of it. So until then, I may be popping on doing odd bits here and there, but that's all in the planning, and hopefully for the new year have some new stuff coming to the channel. So I look forward to working on that with other people as well, which is brilliant, and we will see you soon. Sam, give everybody a high five. Where's your high five? Come on, give us a high five. Thank you. Good boy. Good night, everyone.